Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show today. This is Ty Crandall with Credit Suite. Today, we're going to be diving in and talking about business credit scores. We're actually going to be talking about kind of how your business credit scores work, a little bit about that, and also how to easily check, monitor your business credit scores so you can keep up with them on a regular basis. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ty Crandall. I'm actually the CEO here at Credit Suite. And this is what we do. We help business owners build business credit for their EIN that's not linked to their personal social. So I have a lot of knowledge and experience I'm going to be able to share with you today about the easiest, most affordable ways to get access to your actual credit reports, what you need to be looking for on those credit reports, scores, how they work, all these type of things. We'll probably go about 30, 35 minutes, and then I'll try to hang out. Actually, I would try to hang out and answer questions, but since we're on YouTube Live, I can't do that. But every other week, I do webinars where I can answer questions in real time. So if you're not already, make sure that you get on our email notice list to notify you of those future webinars. And that's at creditsuite.com/EIN. If you go to creditsuite.com/EIN, you can get a great free guide on building business credit, and we can notify you when we do our live webinars, which we do every other week. So you probably already check your consumer credit scores on a regular basis because you know it's important and you want to make sure the scores are right. And you need to know if you need to dispute anything that's derogatory on your actual consumer credit reports. And then if so, you can actually take action to improve your financial history. If you're not doing this already, you should be. You know, credit monitoring is fairly affordable nowadays on the consumer and the commercial side. And if you're not already doing this on the consumer side, you should be. But a lot of people are at least monitoring this because you already understand the value of what it means to getting a mortgage, what it means to getting an auto loan, what it means to getting credit cards, things like that. But what you also need to know is it's equally important, if not more, to actually keep up with your business credit scores as well. And there's a lot of reasons why. First, you want to make sure that they're being reported on your business credit reports. You know, a lot of people we talk to think they have business credit built. And then we pull the credit report and we find they have no credit reporting. And unfortunately, some of those accounts are actually reporting on their consumer credit report. So Capital One is one of those credit cards that reports on both. And some others that you may think are business cards actually report in your consumer credit report. So where are accounts you're getting for your business reporting? Well, this is why you want to monitor your consumer and your commercial credit report. You also want to spot and dispute any errors as soon as you can. Disputing items on a commercial credit report or business credit report is much simpler than with consumer credit reports, because with consumer reports, there's a whole business around credit disputing. It works within a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. But there is no law like that in the business credit world. So it's easy to dispute items to get them removed, but it's not easy to dispute items that you don't even know about. And that's one of the biggest things that my team will tell you that I say all the time is I can only fix problems that I know about. And that's the same thing in your world. You can't fix something that you don't even know is an issue. So you want to make sure that you're monitoring your business credit report so you can spot errors and dispute them if you find inaccuracies on your credit report. And if you need help with this, then you can easily go to Business Credit Repair on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Credit Suite. Everybody here obviously live knows that because you're on our YouTube channel and subscribe. And you can also type in Business Credit Fix, and you'll find an hour-long webinar where we teach you the process of disputing the negative items on your credit report. You also want to get a handle on what's dragging your score down so you can fix problems. Business credit is very different than consumer credit, as we're going to talk about today. The scores are different. They're based on different things. So, for example, in the business credit world, you can be given a failing score even because you have no credit. Just because you have no credit, you could be given a failing score. You could be given a failing score because they don't like your industry. They don't like your SIC code and many other factors. So it's good to be able to pull the commercial credit reports because they specifically tell you what's affecting your score. And once you know what it is, then it's easier to fix those problems. And these scores also determine whether you can get a business loan, the rate and term you'll pay, and how much you'll pay as well. So if you ever want to get credit cards or loans for your business, then you really need to monitor your credit reports on the business. Because if you're not monitoring your credit reports for the business, then the problem is that when you try to apply for loans and credit cards, you have no idea what lenders and credit issuers are saying. It's a crapshoot. And that's why you want to make sure that you're monitoring what's going on so you can make sure that you have the strongest credit profile to get approved for loans, credit cards, credit lines at the best rates, the best terms, and for the most amount of money. So a lot of differences here, as we've already kind of talked a little bit about consumer versus business credit. And one of the differences is that anybody can pull a commercial credit report. You know, in the consumer world, somebody needs your permission to do this. It's called permissible purpose per the law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. But there is no Fair Credit Reporting Act in the commercial world. So the problem with that is that anybody can see your credit report without your permission. As a matter of fact, if you go to Dun Bradstreet, if you look at Experian or Equifax commercial credit monitoring, they give you a choice. Do you want to buy your own credit report, or do you want to buy a credit report for another company? And on the wholesale side, it's very cheap. $2 to $8 is all somebody has to pay to be able to get access to your full business credit report. So you want to make sure that you are monitoring that for this reason, because that's very different than what you're used to in the consumer world. Because they can check it, you really need to make sure that you keep up with those scores, because again, your suppliers, lenders, credit issuers, competitors, prospects, clients, potential buyers of your business, investors in your business, anybody can see this. So because it's public information, then you really need to make sure you control what's on there and what people are seeing, because it's not like your consumer credit report that nobody can access. And you need to be more vigilant than you've ever been with your personal credit report to maintain business credit, because again, in a world where it's publicly available to anybody that wants it, you really need to control the perception that other people have about your business. You can get a free personal credit report every year, but it's not the same with business credit reports. Business credit reports, again, there is no Fair Credit Reporting Act. The Fair Credit Reporting Act says that you are obligated to have access to, or actually the credit bureaus are obligated to provide you access to your credit reports. And you can go to annualcreditreport.com and you can actually get a free credit report without entering your credit card number. But you can't get that. You're not entitled to that once a year on the consumer or on the business side. You'll see that I have a link at the bottom. If you are interested in monitoring your credit, creditsuite.com/monitoring. That is the absolute cheapest that you'll be able to get credit monitoring. Dun & Bradstreet charges about $200 a month. Experian charges, Dun & Bradstreet has two options, one for $150, one for $200 a month. Experian is about $50 a month. So if you go to Experian and Dun & Bradstreet, which are the main two business credit monitoring or monitoring business credit reporting agencies that you want to monitor, then you're going to pay $210 a month. If you go to this link, creditsuite.com/monitoring, it's only $24 a month for both Experian and D&B through our NAV integration. So make sure that you check that out. So there's a lot of business credit scores out there, and there's a lot of places which rate your business credit reports or business credit status. These numbers, these credit scores can be confusing and even conflicting if you don't know what they are. And so which are the best monitoring sources to check? And this is one of the things that we're really going to be talking about. Well, not every business credit score out there truly matters. You need to know this. You don't need to check every single one of them. The reason I tell you this is because your business credit reports can have as many as 5 different scores, sometimes less, sometimes maybe even more. So because of that, you don't need to know and understand every credit score that's out there. You just need to understand the main score that's offered by the reporting agencies, because that's what's typically used to judge you. So you only need to worry about a few of them, really one per reporting agency, D&B, Equifax, and Experian. You don't need to know about a lot of the other scores that are out there. And again, if you want to know the other scores, then go to youtube.com/CreditSuite. Type in credit scores into our channel, and you'll find tons of webinars that break down every score that the reporting agencies offer that you're actually going to run into, even though you don't need all the details. If you're one of those people that likes those additional details, you can definitely get some. So Dun & Bradstreet, this commercial credit giant, is the keeper of the DUNS number. Okay, now the DUNS number, if you haven't heard of that, it's basically the identification number for your business in their database. So what happens is you have 2 numbers that are very important for you as a business owner. Your EIN, which is kind of like your business's social security number. Your social security number on your personal side is how the IRS recognizes you as an individual in the United States of America. And your business, your EIN number for your business is the IRS's way of recognizing your business here in the United States of America. But the DUNS number is a worldwide number. It's used on Australia. It's used in the US. It's used in countries all over the world. So this is a number that Dun & Bradstreet issues that a lot of foreign governments, a lot of foreign trade associations use to be able to recognize businesses. So this number is issued by Dun & Bradstreet. And the one thing you need to know is that if you don't have a DUNS number, you're not going to get items on your business credit reports with Dun & Bradstreet. Again, a question I get all the time. People come and say, look, I'm building my business credit, and I know I have accounts that are reported to D&B, but D&B has no report and score. Why won't they report my items? Well, it's not that they won't report your items. It's that first you have to have 3 reporting with D&B to get a score, and second, you have to have the DUNS to get a score. They won't give you a score unless you have a DUNS number, which is free, by the way, and they won't give you a score either if you don't have 3 accounts reporting to them. So Dun & Bradstreet's by far the biggest reporting agency. How big? Think of it like this. They have over 220 million business records on file. The next closest in size to them is Experian, and Experian has 27 million. So Experian's database consists of 27 million bad businesses, and D&B's consist of 220 million, 10 times that of the next biggest reporting agency. So they are by far the giant in the space. And I said here 206 million. I just checked this before we started. It's now up to 220. And a lot of it comes from reporting by vendor accounts. Look, 220 million is a big number. But you have to understand, a lot of people don't realize and think that somehow business credit is a new thing. Dun & Bradstreet's been around since 1841, 40 years before the first consumer reporting agency. So they've had a huge head start on gathering data way before TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian even showed up on the scene. And that's why they're so much ahead of anybody else that's out there in business, actually I should say in credit reporting in general, business and consumer, because they've been around, again, 40 years before the first consumer credit reporting agency. How big are they? I mean, think about this. 5 U.S. presidents have worked for Dun & Bradstreet. Back in the day, they were a mercantile agency before they actually joined with Dun & Company to become Dun & Bradstreet. So again, really, really, really big reporting agency. And a lot of them get this in, they get a lot of their information from vendors that actually report trade payment history to them. So D&B's main score that you need to know about is called the Paydex score. And it's a number that basically sums up your payment history, data, industry data, public records, and more. Okay, but your Paydex score primarily based on the very first thing that I just mentioned there, your actual payment history. That's what your Paydex score is really based on. So you can go directly to dnb.com to get your actual business credit report with them, or you can pay for a monitoring service. They offer Credit Signal for free. It won't give you monitoring information. It will just alert you to changes on your commercial credit report. Now, you should know that lenders and credit issuers have Credit Signal as well. So when a credit issuer issues you a credit card, they oftentimes use Credit Signal to see if your business credit reports change. And if they change adversely in a negative way, then what they often do is they will actually shut down, or they will remove the amount of credit they've given you. They will call your credit line due. They will reduce the amount of your limits. So we see this on the consumer side too. When you get in trouble on the consumer side, a lot of credit card issuers know that because they get alerted, and then they automatically withdraw the credit that you have, and that hurts your scores even more. Same thing in the business world. Credit Signal is a way that they actually come in. You can monitor to see changes on your commercial credit reports. It's free. You should consider it. Because if you don't, you should know lenders and credit issuers are. And if lenders and credit issuers are, then you should be alerted to of changes the same as they're alerted. And you can go to productsdandb.com and you'll be able to see Credit Signal right there. If you want the direct link, it's productsd, the letter and B, the letter B.com/Credit Signal, all one word, -new. But you can go to products.dnb.com and actually you'll see Credit Signal right there on there as an option. You can also choose Credit Builder Plus. This is what I talked to you about. This is their basic monitoring service. It's $159 a month. They also do have an advanced one for $199. And again, your credit monitoring is going to show liens and lawsuits and judgments. It shows your updated credit scores every time you log in as well. And the information is on the same page as CreditSafe. Very different. In the consumer world, when you sign up for credit monitoring, you can only get your updated reports and scores about every 30 to 45 days. This is ongoing update. If you log in today, you're going to get different information than if you log in tomorrow or if you logged in yesterday. So that's different with commercial credit monitoring than it is with consumer credit monitoring. And again, didn't talk a lot about Paydex, but one thing you should know as you pull your business credit reports is that, again, Paydex is the main score offered by D&B, and the score basically ranges from 0 to 100, with 100 being the highest score. And the main thing you need to do to get good scores is just pay your bills on time. If you pay your bills on time or early, you're going to get good scores with D&B. The purpose of this is more to teach you how to monitor your reports, where to get them, the most affordable place to get them, what you might find on there. But again, I did want to throw in a little bit of details on the Paydex score while we're talking about it as well. So Experian, again, is the second largest reporting agency on file. As I mentioned, they have about a 10th as many records as D&B, about 27 million. Now, they focus on what they call providing quality data and analytics to businesses to help them better assess risk. So, people forget this. TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian on the consumer side. Dun Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian on the commercial side. CreditSafe, there's a lot of other ones as well. All credit reporting agencies do is collect and sell data. That is all they do. At the heart of what they do, they collect data from a bunch of places and they sell it to anybody that wants it. So this is what they ultimately do. Experian, D&B, and Equifax. Experian sums it up as providing quality data and analytics to businesses to help them better assess risk. Well, all that means is it means that they're tracking all this data about your business, so other people that may lend you money actually will have the information they need to lend you money. And this is freaky scary. The fact that you're here puts you more educated than a lot of loan brokers that are in this space. You know, just over the last couple of days, I've had meetings with people that say, look, you know, it's crazy. Some of the biggest lending companies that you're working with out there in the business space don't even know about commercial credit scores. And I had a call with one of them last week, or actually just yesterday, where the conversation was, hey, look, lenders don't even pull business credit reports. And I kind of hit myself in the head and I said, you have no idea what you're talking about. Of course, lenders are pulling credit reports. It's how they're making all lending decisions. And we immediately set up a meeting for our team to fly into their offices to educate their entire team on commercial lending. So you have to, the reason I'm telling you this is because a lot of people out there that are even issuing you loans don't understand that these companies, that lenders are using Experian, Equifax, and D&B to be able to better assess your risk and make lending decisions. Whether you should get a loan or not, the rates and terms you'll pay, the amount of money you're going to get approved for is all based on these commercial credit reports. Okay, now they get information, or they extract significant extra value from their data by applying their own proprietary analytics and software, as all other reporting agencies really do. So a typical Experian report includes ownership details, who owns the company, your information, not your credit, not your personal credit, but it does say your name, and it also has what's called a family tree of any other subsidiaries that you may have or parent companies. Your credit risk score. Now, your Experian credit risk score, again, or it's often referred to as Intelliscore, will really give you the main score that depicts your actual risk. Court judgments or lawsuits, any public records. If you've sued somebody else, your company sued another business, or your business has been sued, all that shows up on your commercial credit reports. History of financial performance, how you perform. They have what's called DBT, days beyond terms, how you've paid. They have summary sections of exactly what the summary of your payment history has been, the individual payment history on every single account. Okay, they also have information on liens, bankruptcies. So any liens you have, also what's called UCC filings. So when a bank gives you a loan, they file what's called a UCC filing, and it goes on your commercial credit reports in many cases, to show other people that you have a loan. I'm going to tell you this for two reasons. First of all, you have to be careful. A lot of people think that loans are reporting on their business credit reports that help their payment history, but that's actually not the case. In a lot of cases, the loan doesn't report on your credit report as a trade account where you get history for the payments. It just shows as a UCC filing showing that you have a loan. So that UCC filings do not help your score at all. They do not count as a trade account. It's just an alert to other lenders to notify them that you have an outstanding loan. And I tell you this because it's something to know and even to ask lenders. A lot of lenders will actually even not file a UCC filing while others do. So knowing that could be important when you're actually out there searching for loans. Even bankruptcies, all these type of things on your commercial credit report, and as I mentioned, UCC filings. Now you have to keep in mind when you look at this list, anybody who wants it can get this information. Your mom can get it, your dad can get it, your competitor, your prospect, your clients, suppliers, lenders, credit issuers. Anybody can see all this information about you at will whenever they want to. So the most recent score is Intelliscore Plus. It was released in 2008, and this takes into account hundreds of variables. It's like 678 different factors it takes to calculate into the score, and the score ranges from 0 to 100, with 100 being the highest score. And it basically predicts your business of going seriously delinquent over the next, or basically what they call 91 days over the next 12 months. So let's talk about this for a second. Business credit scores, Experian, D&B, Equifax, they're all the same. They all depict your risk of going seriously delinquent. I'm doing air quotation marks as I say that. That means over 90 days late, i.e. 91 plus days late, over the next year. That's what your credit scores literally depict. They tell lenders and credit issuers your risk of going late over the next year on an account by 90 days or more. Different than the consumer reporting agencies. The consumer reporting agencies are exactly the same way, but they judge you based on your risk of going 90 days late over the next 2 years. Why does that matter? Because business credit scores are easier to control. When you screw up, it's easier to recover because they're only looking at your risk over the next year. So if you messed up 2 years ago, but your history's been really clean the last 9 months, 10 months, then you have a better chance of getting a higher business score than you would a consumer score because they're only looking at risk over the next year. So you can get your Experian report at Experian.com. Experian's credit monitoring service is called Business Credit Advantage. It's $179 per year, but to get the main reports with scores that you want is about $49 a month. And when you go here, you're going to see options. If you go to Experian.com/small-business, you'll be able to get credit monitoring and be able to access that information right there. Now you can get your credit score reports for as low as $40. The main one you're gonna probably want is about $49.95, what's called Profile Plus. Profile Plus adds detailed financial information, whereas the credit score report just has a summary, right? So that's ridiculous. You don't wanna pay $40 just for a summaries when you can spend an extra 10 and get all the detailed information. So there's a lot of options. My advice is if you're gonna go to Experian Direct and pay for the $49.95 because the $49.95 actually gives you all of your reports and scores. Now again, don't forget, if you go to creditsuite.com/monitoring, you're getting Experian and D&B combined for only $24 a month through our nav integration. So that might be a better route. But if you want to go directly to Experian, then go to Experian.com/small-business/services, and you'll be able to pull up a difference between their services. Now, Equifax was originally founded in 1898, 70 years before the creation of TransUnion. And remember, D&B was around way before that, 1841, right? So they were around way before that, and then Equifax popped up on the scene. They get a lot of their data from the Small Business Finance Exchange. This is actually where a lot of the reporting agencies, including FICO, who populates a FICO SBSS score, this is also where they get their information. You should look into what the Small Business Finance Exchange is because this is an organization or basically a platform that gathers all this data, and then the reporting agencies use this to actually get information to put on your reports. And Equifax reports covers loan payments, credit card payments, trade credit, basically anything that they can get that reports to them and stuff they get that doesn't report to them. So they go and scour Secretary of State records for your name, your SIC code, etc. Again, very important. Because with Equifax and Experian, they'll populate a report, a failing score for you, even if they know you exist. So again, they do get payment data from a lot of providers. They also get data from utility companies. They get data from places where you're setting up a new business. They get data from the Secretary of State, from a lot of other places as well. Now, their main business credit score is the credit risk score, and this score was created to predict the probability of a business going seriously delinquent, Same thing, right? That you're going over 90 days late in the next 12 months. That's exactly what the score with all three of them actually pick up. And here's that link again, creditsuite.com/monitoring. But you should know that you're only getting through this NAV integration, Experian and D&B. Equifax, I'm going to show you how to get Equifax directly. It's fairly cheap to go to them directly to get it. Now, Equifax data is updated monthly. You can get your report at equifax.com/business. You can monitor your report via their member center, which is equifax.com/business-login once you actually do get set up with them. The business credit reporting tool is called Business Credit Monitoring. It's $19.95 a month from Equifax. It's really cheap. Here's my advice. If you're trying or thinking about monitoring your business credit, don't do Equifax right now. Equifax, very few credit issuers report to them. So it takes, actually, you have to be almost intentional with getting credit that reports to Equifax. It doesn't just usually happen on its own. So if you want to see your credit reports, even if you don't think there's anything on there, you still should. The very first check we do for our clients is we pull the NAV report for the 24 bucks, and then we look at the address that they have on file with the reporting agencies and compare it to the Secretary of State records. Because believe it or not, it's one of the biggest reasons people get denied, because the address on the commercial credit reports isn't the same as what's actually on the Secretary of State record. So that's a good check to do to make sure the data that's on your report is accurate or the same as what you're putting on application with your Secretary of State. It includes public records, alerts, risk score alerts. It will tell you if there are risks from new credit activities, and you can get more at equifax.com/business-business- or Equifax/business/business-risk-monitor. So they all have alerts, and it's a good idea to enroll for these alerts if you are going directly to the reporting agency. So again, you're alerted when the actual lenders and credit issuers. Now, we use NAV because they're phenomenal. They give you access to Experian and D&B. And we actually have a special arrangement for them to actually get it even cheaper than what they sell on their site. And you can go to, again, creditsuite.com/monitoring to get both. It's really the most affordable way to do it because it's 24 bucks a month versus spending $210 with the Equifax or with Experian and D&B. And we partner with NAV because, look, we help people build business credit, and it's a tough thing to spend $2,500 a year on credit monitoring, which you have to have to build business credit. So this is just a much cheaper alternative to be able to do so. And you'll also see if you go directly to them that there's a few different plans that you can actually choose from. The standard plan is free, but it's just summary data. The essential plan is about 20 bucks a month. And it's got $1 million identity theft, etc. But it shows your Experian report only with them. And then you can get their premier package, which is 25 bucks a month or more to get some of them, including TransUnion, and you can get your business credit reports. But again, you can go to creditsuite.com/monitoring and get a lot of that as well. So let's talk about CreditSafe. CreditSafe is an up-and-comer. CreditSafe used to report Experian data. They used to get their data from Experian. Now CreditSafe is a worldwide company that's really trying to become the fourth biggest business credit monitoring or business credit reporting company that's out there. And we're starting to partner with Experian, with CreditSafe, and build some solid relationships. They're worth looking into because you could even get a free credit report for them. And we can even pull your free credit report for you if you'd like to. Go to creditsuite.com/consult and we can do that for you. Now, they use predictive modeling to rate risk scores. They have 3 packages, Standard, Plus, and Premier. And their pricing is kind of tailored to whatever your business needs, but they're cheaper than the other monitoring from what you're typically going to find. And you can go to creditsafe.com/free-credit-report. There's only 2 places you can really get a free credit report. You can get it with us at creditsuite.com/consult because we pull CreditSafe. And then you can also go directly to CreditSafe and set it up as well. It's a little bit easier with us. All we're going to do is just ask for your business name and address and pull your report. They're going to want a little bit more information. But if you don't want to talk to us to actually get the report, you can go directly to them. The standard package offers credit analysis. The Plus package adds data on international prospects. That's not something you need if you're not worried about international exposure. The Premier package adds international credit reports to it as well. So again, standard might be all you need with them, but I need to give you a warning. We see a lot of stuff. Because CreditSafe is newer, they still don't have a lot of the trade payment and the data that Experian, Equifax, and Dun Bradstreet have. We commonly pull reports for D&B, Equifax, and Experian where we can't pull any report for CreditSafe. So somebody gives us their business name, their information. We go into Experian, we pull the report, no issue. Then we go into CreditSafe and we can't pull anything. Nothing pulls up. So it's not uncommon to have credit established with D&B, Equifax, or Experian and it not report to CreditSafe, just as a disclosure so you know. CreditNet has a free 7-day trial you can go to check that out with credit monitoring as well. A single report's about $16 with them. The report includes UCC filings, company information, amount of time in business, estimated sales volume. So another thing I wanted to report about these alternative reporting agencies is they do not have your normal scores. We talked about D&B's Paydex score. We talked about Experian's Intelliscore. We talked about Equifax's credit risk score. Well, these reports don't have any of those. They have their own variant of their own score calculation. So just so you know, you could go pull your report with CreditSafe, and the score you pull will absolutely not be the same as you'll pull with D&B, Equifax, and Experian because they're all reporting different information. So you should know that. Also has even news headlines about your business and your industry on your commercial credit reports as well. So Paydex, Intelliscore, Small Business Risk Score, the most popular business credit scores that are out there. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about as well is that the reason it makes sense to get your credit reports is there's a lot of stuff on there that you might not think is on there. For example, one of the newest things we started to see with D&B reports is they start putting a Google Maps image of your business on the report. Why that matters? Because if you're using a home address, it's kind of freaky. You pull your business credit report and you see a big old picture of your house on your commercial credit report. So you need to know that because if you're applying for a loan and you're applying for a $1 million loan and that bank sees your house as your business, just think about what that means from the actual credit issuer lender standpoint. So again, these are the type of reasons you want to pull these reports just so you can see what these lenders and credit issuers are seeing. So these are the main scores of the reporting agencies. We didn't go over scores a lot today, but I will tell you that they're primarily based on payment history. As long as you pay your bills on time or early, you're typically going to get good scores. You can get positive score in as little as 60, 90 days with all three reporting agencies. So here's how it works. With Equifax and Experian, you don't need anything reporting to get a score, but you only need one count paid as agreed to get a good score. D&B, you need 3 reporting to get a good score. The reason or to get any kind of score. The reason I tell you 60 to 90 days is some accounts report every month. Monopolize Your Marketplace is a vendor that reports monthly. Quill is a credit issuer or vendor that reports every quarter, 90 days. So some will report monthly, some report quarterly, which is why I always say that it takes up to 60 to 90 days to get a good score. The reality is, if you build business credit the right way, you'll probably start to see accounts report on your credit report within a month, 30 days, but some of them will take 90 days because they only report quarterly. And paying bills as agreed, as I mentioned, is what will net you a positive score. Equifax and D&B's Paydex score and Equifax's credit risk score are completely based on payment history. If you pay your bills early, you get a good score. Experian score is based on a number of different factors. It's actually based on 5, but 85% or up to 85% of the score is based on your payment history. So they all really are based on how you pay. That's the most important thing that you need to manage. So that's it. We're going to wrap up. I try to keep our YouTube videos about 30 minutes, about 30, 35, 36. I was spot on. Exactly what I said. So I just wanted today to go over where you get your credit reports, how much monitoring is with each reporting agency, the type of things you can expect to see on your reports, all these type of things that are important for anybody that's monitoring their business credit, why you want to monitor your business credit. Look, if you're building business credit, you have to. And I'm not big on the word have to. I don't like to be told what to do. I'm sure you don't either. But you have to. Because business credit building is all about how many trade lines you have reporting on your credit report. If you have 5, you can get store credit. If you have 10, you can get fleet credit and onward. So how many accounts you have reporting determines the kind of credit you can get. So if you're building your business credit, you have to monitor your reports. You'll have no way of knowing how many accounts are reporting if you don't. So that's why today is so important to know what's on your reports, where to get them, the price, the investment, all those types of things. And again, don't forget that if you want the easiest place, just go to creditsuite.com/monitor. We partner with that. It's $24. It's cheaper you're going to get anywhere else. You get Experian and D&B commercial credit reports, and it's much cheaper than paying the $210 that you're going to spend to go to D&B Experian direct. Should you get Equifax? No, not unless you start building a lot of business credit. Once you do, then it makes sense to get Equifax, and Equifax is $20 a month, and it's worth it to get Equifax. But I wouldn't get Equifax early because most credit issuers and lenders just don't report to Equifax. So it's going to take probably some really disciplined dedication from you to build your business credit before you even start to see accounts reporting on your Equifax credit report. So questions, let us know. 877-600-2487, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com is our email. We can help you take years of business credit building and condense it down into only months. And it's cheaper to work with us and do it on your own because of things like credit monitoring. We give you valuations ongoing of your business to know how much your business is worth instead of spending thousands for that. And Experian Smart Business Access, which saves you $600 if you don't even want to get monitoring. It's free. We 411 listing, which is $400 a year. So there's so many things we include that you're going to need to build your business credit you don't have to pay for. We'll gladly talk to you about that. If you'd like a free consultation to talk more, see what's on your business credit reports, get a free copy of your CreditSafe credit report, we can help you with all of that as well. 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. I'm going to wrap up. I can't answer questions on YouTube Live, but next week I will be on a live webinar. So if you're not already, go to creditsuite.com/EIN. Get your free guide on building business credit. Get on our list where I give you tons of cool tips to build business credit and get loans. And then in doing so, we'll also alert you when we do webinars, which we do about every other week. And I think next week, we have a really cool webinar with a lender that is crushing it with easy to qualify for credit lines. So we've got a lot of cool things on our webinar schedule to come. So thank you all very much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, where we'll be back here on YouTube teaching you how to get vendor accounts and loans, and a lot of cool things to happen in the week to come. You can check out our YouTube channel on youtube.com/CreditSuite, and you can see the events that we have scheduled in the future. I think our next 2 or 3 are already scheduled, so you'll know the topics that we're going to cover. And I already told you about CreditSuite.com/EIN, where you can get on our list because every other week we do a webinar. So every other week I'm doing a live webinar where you can ask questions and we can engage. And then on the off weeks, I'm on here doing YouTube Live. And so you know, you can also go to creditsuite.com, and at the top right of our page, follow us on Facebook and Periscope. We go live almost every week on Facebook and Periscope. I say almost because, for example, we won't be going live on Facebook this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, but we will be going live tomorrow on Periscope where we can engage and answer questions with you in real time. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you back here in 2 weeks on YouTube Live. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.